All right, and now that we've done all of the layout on our leg crossbar pieces and our leg pieces, we are now going to use the crosscut sled to cut away the half lap joint on our leg pieces. So again, this is the one with the big X and the small X. That's 74 millimeters from the bottom of the leg. So we are going to be using a combination of two different stop blocks to allow us to carve away the middle by doing multiple passes on the crosscut sled. But before we do that, we need to make sure we adjust the blade height so that it only comes up to our halfway mark, which is the line that we have drawn on two sides of the piece with the small X. So we're gonna do that right away. Here on our leg piece, we have a line that shows where we want to stop machining at. So we're gonna use this line to set our table saw blade height. So that you can see it, I will show you. I will lower the blade height until we can see the top of our line. So that's our line there. We want to make sure that we do not go above that. So it's okay to be a little bit below that as we can take away a bit more material. But if we're above that line, then we'll take away too much material and our joint will overlap too much. So here I have it set just at the top. So the top of the tooth barely meets that line. And you want to make sure you spin the blade a little bit to make sure that the highest point on the blade does not go past the line. So here we have it set up correctly, and we can move on to setting up the two stop blocks. So now that we've just set the height of the blade to come up halfway up our piece, we now want to set a stop block on either side that is only going to allow us to machine the inside of our leg piece. So the first one I want to do is with this stop block on this side, I want to have it so that it limits the piece from going too far this way. So I want the inside of the tooth to just touch the inside of my line. And then I'll apply my clamp. And then now on the second stop block on this side, I want to line it up with the other line on the other side of the table saw tooth. So the first time you set it up for the left side of the tooth, second time you set it up on the right side of the tooth. And again, if you're gonna err on one side, make sure this joint is a little bit smaller because you can always make it a little bit bigger with the chisel by hand once you're done. And I'm going to apply my clamp. And then I'll just recheck. So I've got that clamped on, but I'm going to see how far it can go. It's just inside the line. And on the other side, the same thing. So now my table saw height is set to halfway up my piece. Now I can only travel this distance, and I do not want to be reaching in for this machining. That's why we have our two stop blocks. So our first cut is going to be against one stop block, then our second cut is going to be against our other, and then we're just going to go back and forth until we've machined the center away. So I'll show you how that looks now. And now we have our half lap joint machined away. And it looks like it's just shy of the line on all three sides. So that's good. If we need to make it bigger, we can do that by hand afterwards. But we're gonna do this on all 4 leg pieces, and these will end up attaching to our leg crossbar pieces. And now we have our 4 legs here with our half lap joint cut away in half of it. And you can see that it's on the side that is perpendicular to where the hole will be drilled. So the hole will be drilled through this way, and our half lap joint is on this side. And now we can move on to doing the other side of this joint on the 2 leg crossbar pieces.